So, one of the things I always ask myself is, yeah, some of the things I always ask myself is that, I have a mouth, or I have a voice, I have ears, I have the ability to hear, I have the ability to see, I have the ability to walk, to do all these things. And one of the things, I always talk to myself about, I always wonder, is that, I have all these abilities. I'm so lucky, that I can talk, I can see, I can hear, but still using, I'm not using what I have as I should. That's how I think. I can walk, but I don't use my legs as much as I should be. I can speak, have a voice, but I don't use my voice. I have ears, I can hear. I'm not using my abilities as I should. I can see. Some of the things, I sometimes think to myself, because some people, I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but some people don't have these things. Some people cannot see. Some people cannot speak. Some people cannot hear, or walk. I can. And I'm not using it as I should. Man. It falls under the saying that goes, humans don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. We don't. It's not just me. I'm sure you are guilty of some things as well. But why is that? Why is that? Bro, we're blessed beyond belief, my friend. I'm not talking about, I have a voice, but I'm not talking about, that I have a voice, because I have a voice, I should sing. I cannot sing. So, I'm not talking about singing. You don't have to sing if you have a voice, just speak, You can speak. You can learn, skills that require a voice to have, like a new language or something. Learning a new language. Some people are able to speak different languages. Some people are able to speak 3 languages, 5 languages, 10 languages. It's crazy, man. Even more, maybe. And I only can speak 1, no, 2. 2? Yeah, 2. And it's not that I understand the languages I speak, like 100%, no. I don't even know how to speak them, the languages that I know, That's 100%. I'm just, I understand the basics. That's all. I'm not saying that's bad, no, that's enough, that's good, but I'm just saying, in terms of having a voice, knowing how to speak, I'm not using my abilities to their fullest potential. So, yeah, man, some people cannot see, man. You can. You're not using your eyes as you should. Some people cannot hear. You can. You're not using your ears as you should. Some people can't see or talk, walk. You can. So, some of the things I question myself about. Mm. It's weird, man. Humans are, we are unappreciative of the abilities that we have. And then even more great ability we have is that we have the ability to learn. We can learn things, but we choose not to. So much information we can acquire. If you want to be whatever you want to be, man, you can learn how to become that thing. You don't need money, no, to start learning that thing. You can learn it for free. Whatever skill. But we just choose not to learn. And then we complain at the end. I can't do this, so I don't have money. I'm not saying this in a bad way again, you know. Some people would some people don't have a choice, you know, or have less choices, or the choices too hard, to take, I guess. Or decide on that choice. It's hard to decide on that choice, but we have the ability to learn. That's a powerful skill, man. That's a powerful skill. If I wanted to be an electrical engineer, I can learn how to be an electrical engineer. I can learn the concepts. I can learn Ohm's law. I can learn how to deal with wires, everything. Without university, without school, I can just go to YouTube on the internet, ask, research, do research. I can learn, but I choose not to. If I wanted to be a mechanic, I can learn it for free. If I wanted to be, yeah, maybe spend some money, a little bit of money on the, on my learning path, but I don't need like thousands and millions to learn the skill. If I wanted to be a teacher, I can learn to become a teacher. I can learn a skill and then teach that skill, or whatever. That's where the saying you can be anything comes from. It does not mean that you can do anything. It doesn't mean that you can fly, or you can jump like Hulk or something. Like you will be Superman, can breathe out of space. No, it just means there's so many possibilities, man. Perhaps you can, you know, I don't know, whoop up some chemicals in a lab, to boost your innate abilities, to boost your genes or something, man. Mess with your genes, and you know to in order to acquire the ability to fly. Perhaps that's possible. I don't know, man. I'm not a chemist or something. But, maybe you can turn into Superman. Who knows? If you know your chemicals, you know. Who knows, man? Who knows what's possible? Who knows? But yeah, man, Like we have the ability to learn. That's bro, that's a great ability. The greatest ability. Among others, of course. Cannot name all, but that's one of the best abilities we possess. We can learn. We can learn. But yeah, I didn't mean to talk for this long, and yeah, hope I, hope you heard me. I feel like I'm whispering, so I mean it's in the middle of the night. I don't want to make noise. For the neighbors sleeping. But yeah, I hope I made sense. I hope I wasn't whispering too much. I hope yeah, man, you can be anything, bruv. You can learn all sorts of stuff. Anything you want to be, you can become. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. Yeah, anyways, cheers. I'll see you later. Peace and light. Cheers.